Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 EX diesel. It's a manual car, obviously first of these facelift models. Car's covered just 58,000 miles. It's in really lovely condition. Finished in this sort of gunmetal grey metallic, which looks fantastic on the car. New style front end, again looks really lovely. Done a lovely job Honda on it, and very clean. Lights and lenses clear and intact, no cracks or condensation in there. Bonnet very clean indeed. If there's any stone chips, they're microscopic. Near side, lovely and smooth in the panels, no obvious indentations there at all. Near side front alloy, generally good, just a bit of light curbing on the outside, which the near side alloy is the one that generally gets all the bashing, but that's done rather better than most on this age. Near side rear alloy, pretty much unmarked there. Around the back, all very clean and tidy. There will be the odd little mark or stone chip. There always is, that either I missed, not intentionally by the way, but naturally there's going to be one or two. Offside, again, lovely and smooth in the panels, no obvious indentations that are jumping out at me. Offside rear alloy, absolutely unmarked there. And the remaining panel works very nice indeed. And offside front alloy, again, in lovely condition. So externally, it's in really good condition, this car. Let's come to the back of the car now. Obviously electric tailgate, as you can see, working perfectly on the car. Boot, which is absolutely enormous, has been kept really nicely as well. Coming to the back now with these wide opening rear doors. CR-Vs in the back are normally very heavily used, and yet this one's been treated very gently indeed. It's hardly looks like it's been used very much in the back at all. Just coming to the front of the passenger side, again lovely and clean. Passenger seats in really fantastic condition. Coming in on the driver's door card, again absolutely lovely. Footwell areas very clean and tidy. Driver's seat, the one that should show a fair degree of wear at this age, it shows very little at all. So inside the car now, as always I have the engine running so the dash can be seen illuminated, which looks pretty much like new. It's in lovely condition again. Sat nav, you can see working exactly as it should. Just pop the car into reverse, you've got that lovely clear gridded parking camera, again all functioning perfectly. Sorry, shaky hands this morning for some reason. Been kept very nicely. And come across to the main dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see 58,484 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running there. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 EX diesel. This car is registered OW65GKL, and with a mileage of 58,485 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, as I say in each and every one, it's very simple. It's to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the car advertised in operation. Like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and descriptions, but then driven them, found out they've got an obvious fault that shows up whilst you're driving the car. So that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason for that's obvious, so hopefully it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, fabulous vehicles these really are. It's been really well looked after mechanically and cosmetically. Engine starts instantly, push button start on the top of the range car, settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle. Temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be, and it's been running for quite some time now. This is the higher horsepower 1.6. There's two 1.6 diesel engines in the CR-Vs. The two-wheel drive one gets the lower horsepower, 128, 130 horsepower one, whatever it is. This one gets the twin turbo 160 horsepower engine. It's a mighty engine, it really is. Smooth and quiet in operation. Only obviously a diesel at low speed, but when you put your foot down, it hauls. It really does pull with vigour. Really fabulous engine. They're cam chain driven, by the way. There's no cam belts to worry about on them, and like all Hondas, they've got a reputation for being very robust and long lasting and reliable with just regular good maintenance. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car bites exactly where it's meant to rather. It's nice and smooth in operation as well. And the gearbox is a fantastic box. Always say it on the CRVs because it's absolutely true. It's first things first. You've got the gear lever mounted quite high up, which is your hand just naturally falls to it. But the quality of the gear shift is, borderline sporty. It's very short in throw. It's got a lovely kind of mechanical feel to it, which is all more remarkable because, like most cars which are front sort of transverse engined, it's cables going to the gear levers, but there's still some manufacturers end up giving you some wafty, lifeless, vague gear change. How they do it is beyond me, but there we go. But that is absolutely superb, and it feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. There's just no wear on it at all. Steering and chassis of the vehicle. Honda know this market better than anybody. The CRV is the best-selling SUV in the world, and there's a very good reason for it. Ignore what hardcore motoring press people say, because it's not fun, it's not this, it's not that, it's not the other. Utter garbage for 99% of the people that want to buy this type of car. What it does brilliantly, which is utterly lost on them. It gives you a very comfortable car to ferry yourself and family around in, but also it does it really nicely. You've got power steering, which is obviously very easy to manoeuvre the car at low speeds, but also has a nice weight to it at higher speeds like now, which means the car doesn't feel lifeless or nervous on the road in any way. But when you go through the corners, minimal movement, turns in, all goes as one motion. It's just really, really well done. The steering also tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit actually. The suspension, as I said, what it gives you is a very composed, very well damped ride, because comfort is a very subjective thing. One person prefers a pillowy soft ride, some people prefer a slightly firmer ride. What Honda give you is a really good balance between the two. It deals with virtually all the imperfections of the road very well indeed. Only the harshest ones will catch it out. But when you come to corners where more softly sprung cars will lurch into them and have lots of body motion going on, which is quite nauseating, this has very, very good body control for this type of car. They flow through corners very well with, they're much more accomplished than you'd actually give them credit for. It also, by the way, because this section of the road is abysmal, it's just where I tend to listen out for it, there's absolutely no clonks, rattles, nothing coming from underneath the car at all. The whole car feels ludicrously solid on the road. It's just such a well-made vehicle. Just going to give the brakes a good shove, make sure no one's behind me. Good brake pedal on the car, just feeling for any kind of pulsing or vibration, and there's nothing at all, so all in fine order. Worth pointing out actually that hopefully today, if not tomorrow, the car will be going off for an independent MOT, so these things are going to be checked anyway. Finally, coming inside the vehicle, as I've alluded to, the first thing, because you can't get it across on videos unfortunately, is build quality. They are brilliantly put together cars. No squeaks, no rattles, feels like driving a tank in a good way, and it's real build quality. It's not stuff to impress, like soft squidgy plastics and funky sounding doors. They're nice, very nice, nothing wrong with that, but it's how it stays together over the long term, and some of the cars which have those attributes can be quite rattly and creaky with age, and yet nothing at all. It's just so solid, and also a lovely place to sit and drive a car. When you're on the open road as I am now, you feel very confident because you've got brilliant visibility all around, helped by these massive wing mirrors, so lane changes don't sort of phase in any way. Also, you've got a dashboard which is, it's very, very well equipped, but it's a very easy car to jump in and drive, And after 2 or 3 days of ownership, it all becomes second nature very, very quickly indeed. And all working perfectly, by the way. Sat nav, as you can see, dual zone climate control, which pumps out absolutely ice cold air. I'll do it again just for effect. You can't obviously see it, but anyway, that's by the by. It is a dual zone, by the way, as I said, so it does allow slightly different temperatures side to side if you so wish. Again, the quality of everything you press in a Honda has that lovely tactile feel to it. It makes you feel as though it's something that has been very well put together, and it certainly has. Heated seats, again, working as they should. Dash binnacle in front, classic Honda, beautifully detailed and labelled, not overly done. So basically you look, you take the information in, you look back at the road. You're not kind of squinting to find out what you want to find out. Then you've got this lovely small diameter steering wheel, which is leather bound and shows absolutely no wear in it at all. Pardon me. The one button you won't see in any Honda, even the four-wheel drive one, is a button for the four-wheel drive, because it does it for you. It's automatic. So again, Honda worked out really quickly when they first brought out the CR-V back in the 90s, that most people would be driving them, as I am today, in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically it runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, and that's the most efficient way to pull a car along, by the way. So if it needs to go into four-wheel drive, it will. It does it via the traction control system of the car, so it can react way more quickly than you ever could, and seamlessly as well. So if the front wheels lose grip on snow, mud, ice, and something like that, it brings in the rear wheels, grip, you go through and it turns itself off, and that's just genius. The advantages are obvious. You're going to use less fuel, you're going to get through your tyres far less quickly, and it puts a lot less mechanical stress to the vehicle than a permanent four-wheel drive system, and that gives it its inherent reliability, by the way, because these are, we've been selling them for nearly 3 decades, and I can't remember ever putting a spanner on a four-wheel drive system on one of them, so they are incredibly robust. As I said at the start of the video, it's only a brief one just to show the car operating. There is nothing to feed back. It drives absolutely, dare I say it, like new. It just feels so tight and solid on the road, and it's a reminder why these are incredibly popular second-hand and why the values are so strong still, because some people move away from them, get tempted by buying slightly newer cars for the same age, or same money rather, only to come flooding back when they realise that the engineering goes more than skin deep on a Honda. It really does.